Whenever feels comfortable, you can sit back a little bit and close your eyes. And just really start to feel the support behind your back. Start tuning into your breath. Mm. Feeling the touch of your body resting on the pillows, the gentle pressure. Maybe noticing the softness of the bed. And simply just checking in. How are you in this very moment? Mm. And welcome to stay where you are. I will just adjust my pillow so I am also a little bit more restful as I talk you through things. And I think for people who joined me in the past, you know that sometimes I talk about theory, but today we actually will be weaving a little bit of psychology and reflection in between the poses, but it will be very much an experiential class. And the whole idea is for us just to wind down, sit back, and really just receive whatever is coming. So, no need to do, perform. This is time for you to simply just be. And just as we reclining back, you can think of other people in this call, also gently reclining with you. Acknowledging that we all sometimes find rest challenging. We all sometimes find it a little bit difficult to pause. We're all in this together. Hmm. Really tune in to that support of the pillows or the wall behind you, pressing your back against, sitting back. That sitting back really signals to us that and to our bodies that it is time to rest. Because normally when we move through life, we are very much leaning forward, whether we walk or sit at the desk in the office. Really, with any activities, we are very forward, engaged, moving forward. So actually, we symbolically sit back, not just symbolically, in fact, we are sitting back, but by that symbolic gesture, we signal to the body it is time to pause. Mm. So just take a moment to savor that sense of sitting back, that support behind your back, and that little bit of stillness. And if you wish, you can place one hand or on your belly or your heart, whatever feels supportive to you. And just take a moment to acknowledge and honor how much effort it has taken just to arrive here. How much our daily life prompts us to rush, to be busy, and acknowledge all that busyness and hard work that we have to do day to day. Mm. We carry so much mentally, emotionally, physically. We work so hard. And I just want to read a little quote from Mary Oliver, which I think is really beautiful to kind of teach us about how can we go up about healing. And the quote is from quite a famous poem called Wild Geese. And it reads, "You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 1,000 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." And just as you acknowledge your own efforts, your own struggles, maybe, all the hard work we have to put in every day, I'll invite you to notice what happens in your body. Could you let it be enough just for now? Mm. Simply noticing what becomes present for us without any judgment or analysis. Simply observing the responses from your body. And just in a moment, we will bring ourselves back and open the eyes. There's no need to change your position. And whenever you're ready, you can open the eyes and just really look around the room that you are in right now. Really just taking in the environment, maybe noticing things you haven't noticed before. And this is called orienteering. And again, it signals safety to our body. Just knowing that there isn't any danger in the room, that it's actually safe to slow down and rest. So we will be moving to the first pose. And the whole idea of restorative yoga or regenerative yoga is that, as opposed to the normal yoga when we kind of push forward or we try to stretch or we try to hold something, actually with regenerative yoga or restorative yoga, the idea is that we lie in the position or go into the pose that is in a supportive way, which means we can actually receive the pose and let the gravity do the work for us. So it's this kind of shifting of gears from more active kind of yoga kind of poses to really just receiving things. So important thing is really that we are feeling well supported and we are feeling comfortable in those poses because we will be hanging in them just that little bit longer, maybe even up to 10 minutes. So whenever we go, and I just demonstrate first pose in the second, but whenever we go into the pose, make sure you are really, really comfortable and you feel supported within the pose. And I think for the first thing that we'll do, we're actually not going to use very much of the props because we will do something that is called constructive rest. And I will demonstrate first very quickly. And some of you may already know that. And constructive rest is very simple. We're just laying ourselves flat with the knees bent. And if you feel like your kind of head is jutting out like that, you may either take a pillow or a blanket, but have it quite flat. The idea is that we are not really propped up too much. So as you see, I'm opening my blanket just to have that little bit of a support, and I will place it behind. But nothing really too much, so we're still quite flat. And the idea with this pose, because of those knees that are kind of bent, is one of the poses where our psoas muscle, which is the long muscle that kind of runs along through the front and through the back. And this is the muscle that keeps us kind of upright, whether we're sitting or standing. And this muscle is usually quite tense. There is very few position that allows it to relax. And in fact, this is one of the positions that this muscle can really let go a little bit. So I will let you get into the pose in your own tempo. And again, you can either be totally flat or have a little bit of a blanket. But again, the idea is really to kind of just be quite flat. And the legs, you can adjust them a little bit. They kind of at the, I guess, 45-degree angle. So not too close and not too far. You can experiment just to make sure it feels comfortable to you. And you can wriggle a little bit just to settle yourself. Again, make sure your head is not too much backwards. And if you need, you have a little bit support. You can even kind of gently take your head and pull it a little bit just to lengthen the neck a little bit. And we will stay here a little bit just to allow ourselves to relax into the pose. And as you slowly settling into the pose, once more you can pay attention to the back of your body. Noticing the contact points between you and the bed. Noticing that gentle support beneath you. Mm. Maybe there is a little bit of a release in your lower back. Maybe you can let your neck lengthen a little bit and shoulders drop. Just noticing that gentle sinking into the bed and that gentle support of the bed beneath you. And so, as I said, the theme of today is overwork. And us overworking ourselves, which is working beyond actually what our bodies kind of can take, sometimes leading to burnout, leading to stress, leading to fatigue and tiredness, working beyond what's actually good for us. And often this is caused by the pressures of our jobs, the society. And sometimes this overwork can hide different things. Maybe behind this overworking, maybe some fear of failing or being lazy. Maybe productivity actually is our identity. When we say with proud, look how busy I am. Maybe that overwork is a result of us running away from something difficult. Maybe we have this idea that busyness equals worth, that when we produce, we mean something. And maybe being constantly busy, in fact, give us a sense of control because we associate action with success. So there can be so many different things that come into play when we notice this pattern of overworking. And I just want to listen to a few statements and just notice what resonates with you, what holds true for you or not, just to see what that overworking may mean for you. And of course, those are not comprehensive, but just few ideas of what may be at play there. So just listen and see what resonates. If I pause, I'm not doing my part. If I stop, I might fail or disappear. Rest is for the privileged. If I'm still, I'm lazy. Being busy is virtuous and leads to success. If I stop, things might fall apart or collapse. And just spend a moment noticing how that resonates within your body. And remember, at any point, you can take a deeper breath and notice the air coming in and out if anything becomes too overwhelming. Just gently checking in with yourself and your own beliefs about work. What are different stories that play in for you? Simply noticing without any judgment and with compassion to ourselves. Noticing where your head is taking you right now. And if you run away too far with your thoughts, simply coming back to the body and back to the sensation of your body against the bed. Simply noticing what's alive and present within your body. Mm. And maybe even that stillness can be a little bit difficult with a busy mind running. Maybe we sense something underneath the surface, but we can simply observe, knowing that it will pass. And keep coming back to the body again and again when our minds start to drift. Noticing those sensations, feelings. Checking in again with your back. Maybe there's a sense of spreading and releasing in the lower back. Maybe your shoulders can drop that little bit more. Nowhere else to be. Nothing to do, but simply to receive this pose. Mm. We will spend another minute or two still in this pose, resting, allowing the back to release, staying present with our internal landscape as much as possible. Simply observing. And if your pet is with you, just noticing the joy that that presence can bring to you. And just in a moment, you can start thinking about your exit strategy, meaning you can get yourself ready to open your eyes and maybe roll to the side. Or just take a moment to focus back on the screen before I demonstrate the next pose. No need to change anything too much. So for the next pose, and I demonstrate again first, and then you can get yourself into the pose. And what we'll do, we get the two pillows and we lie them lengthways like that. And I might place my blanket just underneath the head as well. And we will go into this supported recline pose. So as you can see, I'm sitting with my back to the pillows, with the pillows running lengthways. And I'm just gonna very gently lay myself on the pillows like that. And your legs can be bent again like that. They can be straight. Maybe you can open them, just whatever your leg feels right for your legs. And the whole idea of this pose is very simple. It's just to allow that little bit of openness in the chest. So we are allowing the chest to open sideways. And then your hands can be beside you or on your belly. Just whatever feels right to you. So once more, get yourself settled. As I said, the pillows kind of run lengthways, so they will run lengthways along the spine, and then have extra pillow behind your head or your blanket just for that extra bit of a support. So it's a very simple pose again. I actually quite like to be cross-legged for that, but again, it's always up to you whether you want to stretch your legs or you want them bent. Those are all the different options for you that you may have. Again, the important part is that your chin kind of is not jolting upwards, that the neck is quite relaxed and long. And you can wriggle yourself down. And once more, just start to arrive in the pose. Taking time to get really comfortable. And of course, always cover yourself with a blanket of duvet or duvet as well if you need extra warmth. But really getting comfortable. And if it feels right and you haven't done yet, close your eyes. And once more, start to feel into that support of your back resting against the pillows. Sensing that gentle pull of the gravity on your back. Mm. The softness of the pillows beneath you. Maybe you can even feel yourself gently sinking into the pillows, enjoying that support they offer to your body. Mm. Maybe taking a deeper breath in and out to release some of the tension of the day. Mm. And just starting to receive that pause, letting the gravity do the work for you, gently opening your chest. Maybe that allows you to breathe a little bit deeper. Mm. When we overwork, when we constantly on the go, when we constantly doing, it can keep our nervous system in that permanent activation state, the fight, flight, or freeze, when it's really difficult for us to slow down and stop. And in the previous pose, we explored what may be keeping us in that overwork, those sneaky reasons, the programming and messaging that we receive from all around, really, from our family, co-workers, society, even from ourselves. But rest is our inherent needs and our right. It's vital for our well-being, even though at times stillness may feel uncomfortable. When we slow down and allow ourselves to rest, it doesn't mean we're lazy. In fact, it allows our heart rate to slow, our digestion to return to the normal rhythm. It allows for our breath to deepen, and it allows for all the restorative and regenerative functions on the body to do their beautiful healing work on restoring our vitality. In fact, rest is not really that idle. There are very important functions that happen when we rest. And rest also allows us to process things internally. And in fact, it's a space where creativity happens. And in fact, when we tie our success to busyness, something opposite may be true when we rest. I remember when I work in my busy corporate work, actually my best ideas and where a lot of my solution or problem solving was happening was often when I was taking bath after work. Actually, that's where all my best ideas is to come up. And through this, we can actually recognize that rest isn't just us doing nothing, but in fact, there are very important things happening when we rest. But of course, we can go deeper and just really allow ourselves to do nothing as well. And the miracle of rest and relaxation is that we don't actually have to try to make anything happen. It's really simply to just create a space for it to arise naturally, for our bodies to settle in their own pace, for our nervous system to slowly unwind and slow down. And as you're lying there in this pose, letting the gravity do the work for you and letting the pillows offer you the support, I'll invite you to reflect on what signals of slowing down can you sense in your body, and can you allow them to deepen? Mm. Maybe you can start to notice that settled shift between when you first arrive and check in with yourself to actually how your body and your nervous system start to feel now as we slowly and gently moving through the poses. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, nothing to achieve, but simply creating space for our nervous system to slow down. And if your mind start to become active and start to get lost in the thoughts, you can gently bring it back to the sensation of the pillows offering their support to you, their steady softness. Maybe noticing your breath becoming that little bit deeper. Just with the next minute or so, you can slowly start thinking of your exit strategy. No need to do anything just yet, but maybe start thinking about opening your eyes, looking around the room, Thinking about rolling on your side towards the camera. So you can start watching when I demonstrate the next pose. Without any rush. And I hope the microphone will allow me to do it without too much rustling. So we can leave the pillows as they are and just take the blanket which is still folded. And again, if you're using bolster, it's quite simple as that. You can put a bit of height on the bolster. So we want to have this kind of pillows lengthways with just enough height. And what we'll do, we will do a reclined twist. And it's as simple as sitting sideways to the pillows, just like that. And then you're gonna turn to the pillow and just lie yourself like that. Nothing too strenuous, but that's just gonna encourage that very gentle twisting action. And twists are just so nice for the spine. So again, having the pillow lengthwise, sitting on the side to it with your hip on the by the pillow. Adjusting all the blankets and preparing everything. And when your pillows are ready, simply just turning towards them and lying yourself down like that. And your hands be on the side. You can pull the blanket or duvet over you if you need to. Yeah. And just making sure you are comfortable. If that becomes, and your head can be either straight or to the side, just whatever feels right again. Go with the comfort of your body. If that becomes too much at any point, remember that you can roll to your side and just wait a little bit or adjust in whatever way feels right to you. We will be a little bit shorter in the pose because we will switch in between. But once more, hugging the pillows underneath you. Maybe you can give them a little squeeze. Just a gentle hug. And once more, noticing that support that those pillows offer your body. Feeling that gentle pressure of the body on the pillows. Noticing what impact that pose have on your back and on your breath. Twists are very nourishing and good for the spine. But once more, we don't have to push hard. We don't have to try to achieve anything. Once more, just let gravity do the work for you. Simply receiving the pose. Hmm. Sometimes when we let ourselves rest, when we pause or slow down, we may notice actually some difficult feelings rising up, that of guilt, anxiety, or restlessness. And it's important to know that this is really normal. And it's simply the body and mind releasing what's usually pushed aside by busyness. that pausing or resting can be actually quite unfamiliar to us if we used to always run, always push forward. So it may take a minute for our nervous system to actually get used to it. And we can offer ourselves compassion in this moment. We don't need to change or fix anything. Just notice and let those emotions move through us. And you may want to check in with yourself and notice what feelings arise when you stop doing. Can you stay present with them knowing they are temporary? And knowing that at any time you can return to the breath. What feelings arise when you stop doing? Hmm. Gently noticing what's alive within us with compassion. Simply observing. Maybe with curiosity. Just again and again, coming back to the body and noticing the sensations and feelings that are present. Just simply noticing what feelings arise when you stop doing. We stay another minute here, staying present with the body if we can. Hmm. Slowly, maybe you can start thinking about the strategy to change your sides. Thinking about lifting yourself up gently. And simply we just turn the sides, putting other hip against the pillow. And just like before, laying ourselves down in your own time, in whatever way feels right to you. Taking your time to turn, mm, offering any last adjustments, covering yourself up, maybe noticing the difference between one side to the other. Quite often, one side is stiffer than the other one. Mm. Without any need to push or achieve anything. Once more, just lying down and letting the gravity do the work. Once more, becoming present with the body and noticing what are different sensations in the body as you gently lying in this twist. Noticing the quality of the breath. Mm. Noticing the support of the pillows beneath you. And what's important to realize is beneath the drive to keep going, there's usually care, wanting to help, wanting to be involved, wanting to be enough, wanting to achieve or succeed, wanting to be approved of, recognized. And it's important that we honor the part of us that's been working so hard. And the healing begins when we meet this drive with compassion, not force. And if that drive to work had a voice, what may it say? If you were to speak to that busy part of yourself, what message may it carry? And how does it feel to meet it with kindness rather than judgment? And maybe you can acknowledge that busy part and recognize it for its hard work. Maybe even thank it for keeping you safe, for all its achievements. Hmm. Taking one more minute just to be present with what's alive in the body right now. Very slowly, you can start thinking about your exit strategy, about rolling back towards the camera, taking time before we move to the next pose. And this will be the pose where we burrito ourselves, or maybe purrito, because I saw the little cat sniffing the camera. Oh, it's so cute. And for this pose, so either if you have a duvet lying flat or if you have been using it to cover, I would invite you to just kind of spread it, because what we'll do, and I demonstrate first again. So you want to have it with quite a bit of length, because what we will do is to roll ourselves up a little bit. And you're all quite cozy already. So I would invite you to kind of spread your blanket or a duvet flat. And then what we'll do is to lie just like that. Maybe take the pillow between our legs so we sideways. And then just really wrap ourselves around like that. And you may want to even pull on the duvet a little bit just to create that little bit of the coziness. And in fact, you can have one pillow between the legs and one underneath. So you're nicely supported. And then just burrito yourself like that. And again, there isn't any right or wrong in this pose. It's just so we can get that really supported and cozy feeling to us. So once more, just taking the pillow between your legs and another underneath your head, and just pulling that blanket over you. And you may even want to give it a little bit of a tug or pull it over you, so it's quite actually tight over you, so you can really feel that kind of coziness around you and that holding, if that makes sense. And we will stay for maybe a good 10 minutes in this pose. Hmm. Once more, tuning in all the support of your pillows and blankets. Gently closing your eyes if you haven't yet. And just notice all that softness and coziness around you. Sensing the warmth of the duvet or blanket over you. A gentle cocoon that wraps around you, offer you comfort, support, and warmth. Mm. And noticing what response that has in your body. What sensations it brings to feel wrapped up warm, safe, cozy. Hmm. And you can imagine even being a little kitten wrapped up in the blanket. Can maybe even purr gently. Cats are so good at resting. Imagine how it would be to be a little cat without any care in the world, without any need to perform. Simply having the freedom to rest whenever you want, to sleep all day in the sunshine, to be soft. And just like this cat, it's important that we know that rest is not something we have to earn. In fact, it's our basic human need and our right. Just like that cat, it's our right to rest. Often we work to earn the rest, but maybe we should be asking if we are rested enough to work. And as you are there, cozy and wrapped up, you can give yourself permission to pause in an act of self-compassion and maybe a little bit of a resistance against the culture of overworking. You are enough just as you are, without striving, proving, or achieving. And I invite you to reflect. What would it look like to live at a pace that honors your body? Can you let yourself be renewed, not just restored? Hmm. And you can even say to yourself, I deserve rest. I'm allowed to rest. And simply notice how your body responds to that. How would it feel to be a little soft kitten with all the freedom to rest? Mm. And as we stay here another minute or two, you may actually take a moment to reflect and notice if there's anything that shifted in your body from when we first checked in to how your body is now as we gave it some time and space to rest. Maybe there is one moment of insight that you received today, something that you could carry with you forward to everyday life. One little thing that you could remember when you're out there in busy world. Maybe it's remembering that softness of the pillow or that coziness of the duvet that you can come back to whenever you get overwhelmed with being too busy. Really take a moment to make that imprint of being restful and cozy. Mm. And just before you start to slowly come out of the pose, you can also offer yourself a bit of gratitude for being here today, for giving yourself time to rest, and really thanking yourself for making that space for yourself. Mm. And just very slowly in your own time, you can open your eyes and look around the room.